What's up, you beautiful people out there in the interwebs? I'm back. Everybody's back. We're back with the Stranger Things rewatch, season 3, episode 5. We're going to one episode to stream now since the announcement of the season 5 coming at the end of the year. But before we get into all that, before I bring on the panel or panelist, depending on everybody's lateness, please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. I am so close to 1K. So close. So if you are a Stranger Things fan, you love Stranger Things, you want to get caught up with the show before season 5, or you know somebody in your life who loves Stranger Things just as much as we do, share this stream out to them, share the channel out to them, have them subscribe, and come along for the party. With that being said, I'm going to bring out my panelist, the guy I can depend on 24/7. Blue, what's up, man? You're muted.
Sorry because I had the I was playing Stranger Things in the background. Yeah, I'm always here. I'm around.
You're always here. Always here. I don't know where the rest of everybody is. I'm always honest with everybody in the chat in the stream, but my panelists have disappeared to the upside down, or they fell asleep, or something.
Obviously, you look, I have no friends or girlfriend right now.
I look like I have no friends. I just ate a Sour Patch Kid. That's not helping it either. Oh.
I do think this episode, because we're getting to, like you said, one episode a week. Episode 5. I think this is really where things start kicking in. I know people have problems with this season. You could say the first 4 are pretty slow, but right now I think things are picking up for the show or for this season.
Oh yeah, especially with this episode. And I think what I want to do once, because I think we'll be done with season 4 before, with a gap between season 4 and season 5. I think I would like to do a stream like about the comics or news coming out, a couple of games. There's a Broadway play too. So we're going to keep it Stranger Things Friday until the end of the year. So no worries, folks. You can always catch Stranger Things here. So like I said, share it out to your fellow Hawkins fan. I'm like 60 something away from 1K.
Yeah, well, you know, you're gonna hit that. That's why I said on my anniversary stream, I was like, Nadia, this guy, the kid Jackson, Boxless Brawler, obviously Nick's gonna hit 1,000. No, not even a question.
Oh yeah, no, he should be. Even I see Corey in the chat too. There's a ton of content creators. It's because people are tired of what's on TV, so they want to hear us bitch and moan about what's on TV. That being said, I like to kind of Stranger Things has its up and downs, but most of us are fans of it. So I like talking about things I enjoy. Starting in July, I've got a panel for the Institute, which is based off a Stephen King book, which should be, and I've got new panelists for that, like new people who usually aren't on, and then some people who are. So that should be fun. And then, there's a ton of movies coming out. I got my tickets for 28 Years Later and Megan 2.0.
It's actually Niet's covering that tonight, so.
Yeah, Niet's over there covering 28 Days Later, which if you have not seen it, I would recommend it before you see the 3rd installment. Second one,
how our friends are, like Vex, she watched the Megan. She's like, I can't get how, like, why do you guys looking forward to Megan 2? And I'm like, Vex, you don't understand why we're all looking forward to Megan 2?
Because it's dumb fun. It's literally dumb fun.
It looks so awful.
Like, I'm not expecting an Oscar performance. I'm expecting like a decent 5.
Honestly, I think it's gonna be like one of those, like, unironically, like, best comedies of the year.
Yeah, you know, like I'm not. Yeah, not everything can be Nosferatu. It's okay. It's all right. I should say hi to the chat. It's been a week, guys. I apologize too. I know I was supposed to stream yesterday. I went from flying into town to work to family following me into town, and family's still here. And it's just, and then StreamYard was down yesterday anyway for a lot of people. I was very surprised by that. So normal schedule starting next week. We've got Tuesday show, Thursday show, and Friday show. And I might sneak in some gaming. I don't know. I might sneak in some Stranger Things games. Oh, look who decided to show up. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello. How are you?
You both get -10 to your houses for tardiness.
I'm so sorry. Dude, everybody wanted to get Taco Bell tonight. I'm like, bro, I just got done.
All right, That's fine. That's excusable. Taco Bell is excusable.
Thank you.
I don't know about you, Sketch. I'm surprised. I was like, man, we need to send out the dogs to find Sketch. Sketch is normally not late. You're normally my first guy.
My time got away from me a little bit there.
It's okay.
Would you believe me if I said I was wrapping up watching a show on Netflix?
I would believe anything you tell me, Sketch. You've never lied to me before, my friend.
Oh, okay. Well, then just don't ask what I was doing over the Middle East.
I have a question. Do you guys know what Labubu's are?
I'm sorry?
No.
Labubu's? You might look toxic if you've got teenage daughters or young.
I don't have teenage.
daughters.
My daughter's 23, believe it or not.
She might still know. Okay, so there was an internet craze a couple of weeks ago. I know I'm on a tangent on the side because I'll get to a point. There's the little monster dolls that people are going crazy for because some celebrity hanged them off their purse and it's like a big thing. Think of it, it's like this generation's Furby, I guess. Like everybody needed one. So there's Labubus, which are the authentic ones, and then they're from Pop Mart. And then there's Lafufus that they call as like the knockoffs, okay? So I gambled on eBay and I got 2 of them. This is what they look like. You probably have seen them all over social media.
My God, I have seen them.
Okay.
Looks like the stuff of nightmares.
They are from Pop Mart. P-O-P. I look at the foot. It's spelled P-O-B. Mart. Pobe Marts. So I don't think I have authentic ones. But I do have little outfits coming from them soon. And potentially Stranger Things outfits. So I'm sorry, I had to share. I couldn't share this with anybody. My husband doesn't care. Okay. So
I mean,
I
swear I've seen something like this, just not with like those like faces and smiles.
They have different
damn
ones.
it.
They're all over the internet. They're like collectibles people do. They dress them up, hang them off their purses and stuff. But these are like the knockoff versions ones, which turned out not bad. But yes, so. I'm sorry. I just derailed. I had nobody to share that with. And I get it. I'm the only girl on the panel, so I'm the only one really excited for these things too on top of it. So, all right, let me say hi to the chat. What's up, Lunar? Can't watch, so I guess I'll settle for a rewatch. Rio, hello. Javier, what's up? Corey, I see you as well. Corey's going to be joining me for the Institute, which should be a good time. Peepers. Nasty Nads. I'm going to change my name to Nasty Nads instead of Naughtia when I'm on Circle of Jerks.
I love it for you.
I know. Nasty. Tell them if you're nasty. All right. It's been a while, so it's been a hot minute, so bear with me, folks, on this one. All right, so let's get into it. Stranger Things, Season 3, Episode 5, The Flayed. Flayed?
Mm-hmm.
Flayed, right?
Yes.
Flayed.
Okay.
Flambade. The Flambade.
Mind Flayed.
Original date was July 4th, 2019, by the way. Wow. 4th of July. This episode is the midpoint of Season 3. Escalates the supernatural threat while deepening the characters' relationship. It splits the narrative across multiple groups. The Scoop Troop, which is Steve, Dustin, Robin, and Erica. The Griswold family, which is Joyce, Hopper, and Alexi. And the main group at the hospital, Nancy, Jonathan, Mike, 11, Max, Lucas, and Will. The episode builds tension as the Mind Flayer's influence becomes clear and the groups uncover more of the Russian plot and the Upside Down. So let me pull up. So initial thoughts of the episode. I know you were talking earlier, Blue, that this is kind of like where things start to get to it.
Yeah. Plus, it's an hour long too.
It's 52 minutes. Yep, it is. Well, that's great. It does open up with the Scoop Troops. They are, if you remember from the previous episode, they're trapped in the Russian base beneath the Starcourt Mall. The group navigates the facility after being captured. They escape the elevator and find themselves in a vast underground complex. A little bit more into the episode.
Yeah.
Sketch, initial thoughts on the episode?
I like that. Well, I mean, hey, what better way to start than picking up right where you left off? Literally on a cliffhanger. What's at the bottom? I feel like do you want like for the scene or just in general for this episode?
Just
How are we
in
doing?
general.
I'll say there's some stuff in here that starts to work. I think this is kind of where some of like the meta commentary with it starts to pick up, especially around Steve.
Yeah.
We'll get into a
poor
little bit
Steve.
later, at least. Yeah.
They demasculined or whatever. No, low T Steve. Low T Steve, man.
Oh, I mean, if I were the Russian guards later, I'd be embarrassed to lose to a guy in an outfit like that.
That's true. The Scoops Ahoy.
They're not even tights. They're Boy Scout camping shorts. What a horrible way to go.
When Nick comes back to the stream, man, I'm trying to get him into a Scoops Ahoy for all the ladies that watch, but
Hell yeah.
who knows?
Oh
I
yeah.
do like Erica. I realize I actually do like Erica because they flush Erica out way more than they do Lucas in this family, in my opinion. Especially because I feel they don't know what to do with Lucas in this season, and I don't know what they know what to do with Lucas in season 4. In my opinion.
Yeah. He's kind of just,
feels like
he's just there.
Yeah.
Disagree. Hard disagree.
Well, state your point.
You don't want to wait my turn when you after.
No, go ahead. The floor is yours.
That might be sort of true in relation to this season, but I think season 4 he's pivotal for a lot of reasons. Not the least of which is he's the connection between the I don't know, did they have a name? The white boy basketball Christian group that wants to rid Hawkins of Dungeons and Dragons players because they're caught up in whatever that weird psychosis was in the 80s that they thought everybody that was into Dungeons and Dragons.
Satanism. Yeah.
That weird well, they had like a word for it, like
Satanic panic.
Satanic panic. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he's super, and also I think it's probably his best performance in season 4. I don't want to talk it spoilers this far ahead, but that final scene where he's holding that certain person and crying his eyes out, man, that was chilling. He was great in that. It was crazy how good he was. I can't believe he didn't win something for that. As good as he was. So I felt he was super important in season 4. Again, I do agree with you. This season, he's kind of sidelined a little bit. And I love Erica. Erica is good. I realized on this rewatch, getting ready for this stream, Erica is good because you have this quote unquote precocious new character. I mean, I know we kind of knew of her before, but we have now, she's kind of taken center stage. And there's a fine line between acting bratty and obnoxious, like a certain potato type character that we see on another show. And there's something more where they are cute and endearing and funny in their performance of being kind of a brat. You're not going to spell America without Erica, and some of the stuff she does, it doesn't make you like roll your eyes and you're just like, oh my God, dude, I can't stand another thing out of her. She brings it. Now, if that's the writing or if it's the performance or if it's a combination of the two, I don't know. But I agree with you on the Erica thing. I disagree with you on season 4 as it relates to season 4 for her brother. So make of that what you will.
So I have a question for you on that, Toxic. Replace Lucas with any of the other characters. Would you be saying the same thing? If like Mike had a football storyline where he had to do the same thing for 11, my point is they give him a generic runway in a sense. He's the jock. He's got to save his girlfriend and stuff. They don't expand more on him as the character, like his background, his family, what separates him from difference. Because I feel like if you threw Mike in the same role as Lucas in season 4, you'd be saying the same thing, praising the role if the acting is the same. But so if you could switch him out, what makes Lucas so special then, different from it?
I guess, I mean, it's basically the scenario in which he's put in, because he's kind of caught between these two different loyalties. His childhood friends that are still doing D&D and they're considered the freaks and stuff like that. And he has this opportunity to be the jock, to be the big man on campus, to be part of this crowd. And he kind of has to navigate between the two. I don't disagree that literally could have been anyone Although I would disagree that it could with the actors wise, because I don't think I would believe any of the other ones were jocks. I believe Lucas as a jock. He's like buff and he looks like exactly what he is. He what he's supposed to be anyway, a young basketball player. I don't think Mike. I don't think Dustin or what's his name, Will could have. I don't think they could have believably been that. I think only Lucas could have. Or do you not? Do you think they could have been believable as the jocks going with the popular kids and stuff?
I could see potentially Mike or Dustin, maybe.
You think Dustin would go along with the popular kids and be athletic? Really?
It could be peer pressure for girls to get girls, similar to because how much of he was heartbroken over Max the last season. Could be a popular thing. And plus, he was following in the footsteps of King Steve, so it would have fit.
Could have been interesting. That could have been interesting. Yeah, no, dope. That could have been interesting. But again, I mean, physically, as they are, taking them for what they are in season 4, I the only one that's believable in that, he's the only one that's really traditionally handsome, and he's the only one that's built, and he's the only one that I would believe could navigate between the dorks of Dungeons and Dragons. No offense, I don't mean that as offensive. You don't have to be a dork to be playing Dungeons and Dragons, but you got to admit, in the context of the show, those kids are considered dorks, or at least outcasts, at least. The standard quote unquote popular kids, the jocks, the big men on campus. I really think I don't think anybody else could have played it. Not my way of thinking.
But again, it doesn't expand on Lucas as a. Oh, we're gonna go in circles. Let's get to the episode. All right. So, the Scoops Troop. I like this dynamic. The 4 of them. I actually think the 4 of them have very good chemistry outside of the other groups.
I'd agree on that one.
Definitely.
I will say
season 3 defendant, propaganda.
I mean,
season 3.
listen. I don't know where the last couple times I've been saying the core trio of Steve, Robin, and Dustin is already a pretty strong group there. Erica kind of brings a little extra bit of that flair to it. I liked the reason I think it works actually is, Erica kind of has a lot of sass to her, but it's always kind of like put in check when Steve kind of brings her back down to earth. He had it up there a little bit before here, where Steve kind of points out the straight man of the situation. To kind of just describe that they're at the bottom of this 20 however far story shaft basically, and no one's gonna come find him. Yeah, see, he kind of
Mom's not gonna be able to find us.
If we're dead in a Russian elevator, it's like
I think you kind of always have to
bring
have
it in there.
I think you kind of always have to have a character like that. Like in Buffy, it's Cordelia, and then later Anya. Just due to the fact you want to have somebody that tell the other characters, you guys are dumb. This is a dumb plan. We shouldn't be doing this, because otherwise there's no conflict. There's no conflict with the stuff. If everybody agrees, yay, this is a good plan, we should all do this. It's like, I think that's where, or if it's too doctored, the conflict, it doesn't work. So, that other show that we won't talk about that we recently reviewed has too much of that. They have this doctored conflict within their little groups, or they all just get along and just agree and just do, oh yeah, you're so smart, that's what we should do, blah blah blah. You want the character, when the leader comes up with a plan, to be like, yeah, I don't know, this is kind of whack, I don't think this is a good idea. So it all depends on how they play it. And I think the girl, I don't know the actress's name, but the girl that plays Erica, I think she plays it pretty good.
Can't spell America without
Erica.
Without Erica. Snaps.
So we go from the Scoops Troop. They find themselves in the elevator. They were able to break on top of it, but they realize how low they are. And then we move over to Joyce, Hopper, and Alexi. And Hopper's back for this episode. At least in my mind, the manly Hopper from season 1.
Yeah.
The way he's approaching this, if nobody remembers, last episode, him and Joyce were exploring different locations that they made a list of, searching for the machine that deals with it's very magnetic issues that Joyce had been noticing led to this house, and they're tracing it. They find that there is a secret entrance to the basement underneath a bed. They go down and they find these two toying around with some machinery down here in this area. And this is where we get introduced to one of the best characters of season 3, Alexei, who doesn't speak English right now. And neither of them do. They're Russian. So
They're Russian.
Very Russian. Very Russian. I like how Hopper later calls him Smirnov. I was like, what?
It's like,
and who Hopper's looking for is the guy that beat him up a couple episodes back, who he realizes is the Terminator.
Terminator at home.
Thank you. Terminator at home. We got Terminator at home. Timu Terminator, who shows up later on in the episode. And just like, I'm just like, wow. Because I saw Terminator 1 and 2 for the first time last year. And I was like, oh, okay. Though I'm told not to go past 2. 2 is done. What's up, Rachel? I love Alexei. Alexei's one of my favorite characters.
Alexei's wonderful. He's a gem, and he must be protected at all costs.
Yeah.
I like when they introduce new characters each season, and they're always very likable. So luckily for us, nothing bad will happen to Alexei in any way, shape, or form.
That is just for in case if Toonie decides to watch the recap.
Yeah.
So it doesn't spoil it for him.
This is Alexei. I've only had Alexei for 2 weeks, but if anything were to happen, I'd kill everyone in this room and then kill myself.
Yikes!
I'm just gonna get that one meme. I'm just gonna superimpose Alexei over it. It'll be perfect.
You know what? I'm gonna call this guy Alexei. This is Alexei.
There we go. Hi,
Alexei and Eddie. There we go.
Wow, no Barb.
No Barb.
Hashtag justice for Barb.
This dude looks like the Terminator in some ways that they liked this scene so much.
They really went to their hair and makeup and said, "Listen, just make him look like Arnold in the Terminator. Just do it." That was the only instruction they had. It's like, okay, here you go. Here's a Terminator.
Was the 80s?
Mm-hmm. Don't they straight up call him Arnold Schwarzenegger as well in this episode? I could have sworn that was a line in here somewhere.
I don't think so. I didn't notice it. But I watched it today. This is very much like an action movie. This episode.
Yeah, I know. I'm going up back on what you said here. Yeah, I like that Hopper takes the gloves off now. He's getting serious again. He got his ass whooped, and now it's like, all right, no more playing around. I like that. I do kind of like that Hopper can kind of jump back, for lack of better terms, hop between being the goofball and being like the dead serious police officer when the time he calls for it.
Well, this guy doesn't think he's going to actually shoot his brain. He actually does pull the trigger. The guy just moves out of the way last second. He's not fucking around.
Well, do you think that was Hopper's his biggest mistake was Hopper is military trained, and being that close to somebody's a big mistake.
Good catch, Blue. See, this is what I like about knowing I've streamed with somebody in the past. If I teach somebody something, say something military trivia related, whatever, and they absorb it, it makes me so happy, especially if they have a alcohol pickled brain like some people do.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, because you damn sure don't want to be that close because people can disarm you. In fact, there's training classes to disarm people with a gun.
Yeah, and also I need to get this shirt for Chris, the one that Hopper wears.
I love that shirt. I think I have one of those somewhere in storage. I think I have a shirt at least similar to that.
I need to get one for my husband. I think he'd look nice in it. Yeah, I really like the confrontation here. I was like, man, I stood up. I was like, Hopper's back. He's back. He's not the buffoon. And I know he goes back from action to comedy, and I get it. And some of his relationship with Eleven and the back and forth of the father and daughter, that's witty, that's cute. But sometimes he's just the butt of the joke, and I just don't like it. They just utilize him. I think actually they do it worse to Steve than they do to Hopper.
Overall, or
yeah, overall, I think they really do that to Steve a lot more so. It's like more of a running gag because I feel Hopper kind of flows through each season. So we have like a serious Hopper for season 1, season 2, starting to be the butt of jokes.
A little more
Season
jerky.
3,
He's a little more jerky.
Yeah, jerky here too. And then season 4, he comes back. He's the badass again, mostly because of what he went through. Where Steve, I feel every single season after season 1, he is just the butt. He's the babysitter. He's the butt of the jokes. He's the one that everybody takes a crack at. I mean, look at how Dustin treats him in next season most of the time. So I think overall, Steve gets the short end of the stick. They both get a lot of it, but I feel Steve does more so. I feel like I'm watching an action movie in this scene too. I'm like, oh, that's where all your money went to for like firearms and stuff like that. Freaking Steve from season. What's up, Zach? Thank you for the $10 Canadian free Steve from season 3. Yeah, poor Steve. Let me see. I got you. We got a couple of Steve clips. I need a clip. I need a clip of. I just need a montage clip of just Steve with the bat. Different Steves with his like hair in the wind and the bat.
I'll have that for you next week, boss. Okay,
that's what I need. I need like just badass Steve just to counter the free Steve kind of deal. Hey, Zax, you're supposed to be on a date too with your wife. Get off your phone. She would not appreciate Alexei. So they decide to kidnap Alexei, who is a Russian scientist, and they decide to take him with to kind of figure out. Again, he doesn't speak English at this point. There is a funny little scene with them at like a 7-Eleven. This is what I was talking about. Oh, wait, go back. And this is just the opener before even all the episode. It's like, wow, they spent a lot of their stuntman coordinating. Look at this guy. He looks like the Terminator. The way he's walking too, the limp.
I'm telling you, you could put the T2 theme beneath that guy walking and it would feel right at home.
I'm surprised they didn't. Or some form of it. You know, change it out a little bit.
Do like a synthetic riff on it, kind of like in the tune of like the Stranger Things logo or opening song.
Yeah. And the guy's just like, I think he's right there. Nope. Go back a little bit. Yeah, look at this. It's like if Arnold Schwarzenegger and Toxic had a baby.
I love it.
Up as the Terminator for Halloween.
All right,
If any of our people are watching,
another one.
I am not against that. Just so you know, like if that's a thing, Arnold, you and your people, like you want to make that happen.
You want to have kids with Arnold?
Sure. If that means I get to be taken care of with Arnold money, yeah. I want to live in the Governator mansion. Yeah, I want all of that.
I don't know why I like.
You good there, now?
I'm eating Sour Patch Kids, and this bag is exceptionally sour.
I
was about to say, the thought of being taken care of with Schwarzenegger money was just that repulsive to you.
Right, that's what I thought she was gonna do.
I was about to say that was the most visceral reaction to being part of a Schwarzenegger family I'd ever seen.
I'm trying to eat my Sour Patch Kids before Kennedy bans them, since it has yellow 6, red 40, yellow 5, and blue 1. So
that's gonna become a rare commodity. You'll be able to trade that for like stock, basically.
Well, I read somewhere that if you have high anxiety, like I do, like a Chihuahua, if you eat sour candy once in a blue moon, it helps with it. Actually, like kind of centers you back.
I've never heard that.
It helps your brain.
That's a new one.
Because it focuses. That's why if you look at if you go to like the vitamin store or something and they have like candies like L-theanine and stuff, they're usually like sour flavored. Because sour, it kind of helps your brain kind of refocus so that you're not focused on what you have anxiety about.
Huh.
Plus, it's a sugar rush. So that being said, it's my favorite candy to eat. And usually what I do, which is stupid, is I buy a bag when I go see a movie, but I don't open the bag and I just bring it home. And my husband's like, just go to like Walgreens or something and get a cheaper bag. But for some reason, movie Sour Patch Kids taste better. I don't know what to say. So All right, moving on to the episode. Arnold, he's back. And then we get the opening. That's literally 8 minutes of this entire scene between the Russian elevator and Joyce and Hopper, and then we get the opener for the episode.
Hmm.
So
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it, and I want to keep a track of it and see if they keep, when they bring these openings in from now on, see if they keep putting them this far back.
Yeah.
I think for this season they have done a pretty much like a big opener and then the title goes and such. At least 5 to 8 minutes, I would, if I would make a guess.
Watching scene again, not even talks window this stuff when the Russian guy's shooting the back of the truck. I know Joyce says it's a pretty decent sized vehicle, but he puts like 50 rounds to the back. At least like shouldn't Hopper or the Russian guy take some kind of damage? I mean, he's just unloading, dude.
Yeah, that's a common. I've talked about this on other streams, and it's one of those things where you have to just kind of allow for it, because otherwise you're not going to have much of a story. But yeah, there's a thing that people don't understand from movies and TVs. When bullets hit things, the things that they hit, whether it be a wall, metal, whatever, they generally explode, or at least pieces of them blast off of them, and they go in random directions. That's what they call shrapnel. So like, for example, I have never been shot, but I've been hit by shrapnel many, many, many times, and shrapnel can kill you just as easily, and sometimes more easily, than a bullet. So yeah, shrapnel cuts, it flies all over the place. I've seen it done a couple times. I think maybe True Detective season 1 showed some good examples of shrapnel flying around when somebody's doing bullets. But yeah, maybe Block Hack Down actually also too, I think had a couple interesting scenes, but it's very rarely done. I mean, I think it's really a nitpick more than anything else, but it's definitely something that probably, I mean, again, that's probably more of a testament to you doing streams with me so much and me rubbing off on you a little bit. But I mean, to the regular observer, I mean, unless you're sitting there with like a combat vet or something like that, or a law enforcement officer that's been in some sort of shooting, they're probably not going to notice it. And even then, I'm willing to suspend a lot of disbelief when it comes to stuff like that. It's not an egregious error, but it's definitely something that's interesting.
Okay. Yeah, it's definitely more. We're all reviewing stuff now. You just notice, like, I'm watching that scene again. The guy puts like 200 fucking rounds to the back of that truck. I'm like, really?
I'll explain it even easier than Toxic did. Plot armor.
Convenience.
Convenience.
super easy.
I'm just saying. Yeah. You're right, though. You're right. Everybody's, but this is also fantasy. So the more you know. All right, so we are now with Jonathan. Jonathan had a heavy night of drinking the night before. He's getting a phone call. You got to remember, last night Nancy was at the hospital with Mrs. Driscoll, who turned into like one of those Mind Flayer tentacle people. Not that she has tentacles, but I'm saying like she does the black veins all over her face. It's interesting. This episode, we find out a little bit more that they're all connected in some way. Like if you hit one, you hit the other one later on. I love the Evil Dead poster in the background.
Oh, yeah.
This is how... By the way, folks, what he's holding is a home line. Okay? I know you younger ones, Gen Z and younger, maybe not know about this, but growing up in the 90s and 80s and whatever, you had a phone at home.
They had a little something called a landline.
Landline, yeah. And most of my childhood, they were not wireless. It wasn't until I was much older that you were able to do like wireless ones.
They still exist. They're rare, but my mother, she just refuses. Like until she dies, she will always have a landline. It's just something. I mean, yeah.
To be honest, I think we should go back to them and get rid of cell phones.
But even then,
well, Nadia, good news on TikTok. There's a trending video where this girl is like trying to explain how to save money on a phone. She's like, "What if there was a phone in your house that stayed in your house and everybody shared it?" Like that's what they call Gen Z the Mark Twain, or not Mark Twain, the Christopher Columbus generation.
Oh yeah,
they always think they're discovering stuff all the time, but really they're just talking about stuff that we've already had.
The only thing, it's pretty dumb. I'm not sure about your guys' area, but like in our area in New York, well, the thing is, but your landline now is tied to your modem. So if your internet goes down, you're fucked. Because back in the day, everyone had a power outage, but the phone was into the jack in the wall. You still at least had emergency services. Now, once internet outage is there, your phone is dead.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I don't even think modern houses are built with phone jacks anymore into them either.
I mean, my house now we have, because this house was built in like 1905. We have like one jack, but it doesn't work. But but still, now it's all modems. But like, well, what's the point of having a landline if you can just out the internet and?
Even when Chris and I go for tours sometimes, because we're looking to buy a house in the next year or so. Even looking at like most modern houses, like the ones that they build now, the cookie cutter kind of things, they don't put like a phone line jack into them. So it's pretty interesting. This coming week I'm getting fiber installed, so that should be
Wow.
fun. For free. So that should be good because the desert sucks with internet out here. All right, Nancy's calling. Walk 'em down, Wheeler.
That's my girl.
Trying to explain to Jonathan about what's going on with Miss Driscoll and asks Jonathan, like, where's your brother? So Jonathan thinks she's like overreacting until she brings up Will. That's what I felt through this scene. Anybody agree, disagree?
I agree. It's giving a little bit of
I agree.
Not now kiddo vibes, which I never am a big fan of.
Like asking where Will is kind of woke Jonathan up.
Yeah.
Because you even can start to see in his eyes, this kid is just not good looking at all. He's starting to almost tear up a little bit. It almost looked like the glassy eye look to him.
I swear that looks like Edward Furlong in T2, like just a couple years older.
Neither were blessed. Blessed with acting, not blessed with looks. It's okay. I don't have Hook here to help me with any one-liners of people's looks in the chat. He's usually on Thursdays. I love this moment with Joyce trying to convey to him in English, trying to figure out what's going on. Poor Joyce, man.
Magnets.
Imagine trying to teach physics class with pantomiming. Couldn't be me.
Yes.
Drop.
Alexi is not a bad-looking dude either. Putting away my little candy dash.
Machino, yeah, understands. Machino.
Listen, you have drinks on stream. I have sour candy. Okay, all right. I don't judge you. You don't judge me. I'm sure there's as much red dye in your stuff as there is in mine.
Oh shit.
Or caramel colored. So. Magnet. I love how Hopper's like, just give up on it.
Yeah. Of course, you should listen to the Russian guys. Like, no, wait, stop, and
Stop.
yeah. Maybe the evil Russian guy might know something about engines. Stop.
Oh,
stop! I told you stop.
Yeah, and then see friggin' the car starts smoking. Just
with Joyce in the car.
Six. Well,
great screenshot right there. Yeah, like a perfect.
Hold on, perfect. I need that for my. Hold on, I need to take a snippet of that. Where's my? For my avatars, I've got a ton of Joyce avatars going on. There we go.
Sidebar, real quick. I know that she's playing a Midwest house mom in this, and I get it, and I have no problem with it. But in 2015, right before the show came out, she was in a movie with Vince Vaughn and the King of Queens guy and Channing Tatum, and she was so smoking hot in it. Like she was it's something about movie about cheating. I can't even remember. My girlfriend put it on, but god dang, was she a smoke show in that? I don't remember the title of it. Probably maybe somebody in the chat does, or maybe one of y'all do. But holy crap, it made me remember how hot Winona Ryder is, and right around this time too. So I feel like I think they do something on this show to kind of I don't want to say ugly her up because I don't want to say that phrase, but they sort of downplay her good looks on this show a little bit.
Yeah.
Probably actually more makeup in the movie, or depending on when the movie was filmed too, because sometimes movies are filmed.
Well,
they
true.
Yeah, because they could have filmed it 5-10 years and then distribution finally able to get the movie out.
Oh, sure. Sure.
On it.
But I think I've seen her in interviews. And I think she still looks pretty good.
I think she looks great for her age. I don't think she looks bad, but also they could have used, more touch up for the movie for whatever reason she's in it too.
Yeah.
But she definitely is more of a soccer mom look in this. Than anything else I've seen her. Just had to watch Edward's Scissors Hand, and I was like, dang.
She's a hottie. And she is 53, so
she ain't much older than me.
11 is scooping on trying to see where Hopper is, and all she could say is Illinois, and all I wanted to scream is, no, not the worst state in the union. Oh no. And I'm from Illinois, so I can say that.
I'm surprised it's not a New Jersey joke.
Yeah, that's true.
They're going to Illinois.
Illinois. I love the bonding these two have throughout this.
Yeah. But people said, well, that's the first circle because 11 first didn't like her at all, but understandably so. It's like huge competition. It
also, I think, their chemistry, them together, actually, I think, is a benefit to Max more so. Because I found Max very annoying the last season, but I do like her in this season. She's grown on me way better. And I think it's because of the dynamic with 11. Like, it's toned down. Something about her character is toned down a little bit, or just evened out easier.
Well, there's something about seeing her help bring 11 further out of her shell that was really, really nice this time around. Because, like, this is, like, the first, like, well, not the first, but, like, the second real friendship that...
Did we lose Sketch?
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he froze.
Oh, I was... God damn it. I was saying...
Now you're back.
I'm gonna put... Hold on. My honest reaction right now. my whole thesis just flew out the window. I was saying I appreciate Max being 11's like second true best friend and it not being like another guy. So it introduces 11 to a different kind of dynamic of friendship that kind of helps open her up a little bit more.
Yeah.
Than like when she was with Mike and the guys.
Yeah. I agree. And plus she's never had really female companionship. Yes, you can kind of say her one-off sister in Chicago, maybe that bonding experience or meeting her aunt. But I mean, knowing more about her from her lab years and stuff like that, she's very isolated, very much so. So didn't have female companionship. And girls are different with our girlfriends versus a dude.
All I'm saying is that no other friend group she's had up to this point or anyone else she's interacted with has taken her out to the mall just to go shopping.
That's true.
It's all been about her past in the lab.
Yeah. Well, I mean, to the boys' defense, it's not something boys would be into, unless it will. But
well, that's what I'm saying. Like they needed a character who was going to be like make the most sense to actually bring 11 into that sort of scenario, and none of the guys. Mike is not the kind of character who would bring 11 to a mall to show her what it's like. We would all be like, no, that's not what Mike would be like doing.
I am racking my brain to try to figure out what real character in an 80s movie had this weirdo haircut that Mike has, and I cannot think of one.
Do you now I lost my train of thought. I guess it wasn't that important. No, you're fine. You're fine.
Look at this kid. Look at this kid. He looks like he walked in from like a foreign film or something like that. He's like, yeah, do you guys want to go and get some strudel or something? Like, what is this? This can't possibly. I was alive in the 80s. Nobody looked that dorky. That is crazy.
Come on, Toxic. I know you still got these shorts in the back of your closet.
Oh,
somewhere.
you got me. You got me. I had the same haircut too.
I think thou dost protest too much.
Yeah, I think you're projecting a little bit.
Yeah, blue collar is going to be like, hey, I got this thing from his Facebook. This is Toxic dressed up like this back when he was 12.
Also,
Yeah,
Cocoa Puffs product placement.
Yeah, Cocoa Puffs. Kennedy's getting rid of those too, guys. We're not gonna have those around much longer either. It's okay.
This is a good scene though. The two girls, you do understand we can hear you, right?
Yeah. Mike, open the door. Not now, Mom. Listen, if I screamed at either of my parents the way Mike did, I would not.
Oh yeah.
I would not be able to walk straight.
It's over.
A belt. Yep. My dad was not afraid to smack us around.
Well, to be fair, his dad's pretty useless.
Yeah.
That's true. So we're back with the Scoops troop, trying to figure out a way to climb out of this. Steve takes a pee, as men do. Just pee randomly anywhere.
You've been there for what, 8 hours or something now? Come on.
I think that was a jab at. I think that was a jab at us for how easy it is for dudes to just, pull it out and just pee in any direction wherever they want, anytime they want, when the need strikes us.
I would like that ability as well. I just don't want to have the surgery for it. I like being a woman more so, but yeah.
What do you think? Because you got the two girls on the bottom. All they can do is just make a puddle in the elevator.
I remember one time I had to pee out in the middle of the desert. I was on a film set. There was no portable bathrooms. We were only there for like 2-3 hours. But for some reason, I had to really go. And I squatted in like this like area that was downhill. And that was my fucking mistake because I pissed all over my shoes. Like it just drained right into my shoes.
No.
So I had piss smelling shoes for the rest of the shoot.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah, it's not fun. So you guys have it lucky. You get to aim. Unless wind is, the opposite way.
We don't care. Yeah, we don't care. Yeah, we
I know.
We don't care.
We'll make it happen.
I have a husband.
the primal masculine urge to mark your territory.
Is it just something liberating to pee out in the middle of like the forest and backyards? And,
I get it. No, I get it.
nature?
I mean, I went to boot camp and I remember we were marching for like 3 or 4 miles, and then like they make you drink 6 or 7 canteens of water, and we got half the soldiers on one side of the road, half the soldiers on the other, in a single file type thing column, and then somebody was like, Kelly, I gotta pee so bad. Are we gonna stop? And I'm like, what do we need to stop for? And I slung my rifle, turned around, walked backwards, and peed on the ground. And one of the females in my platoon was like, well, great, dickhead. What am I supposed to do? I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you.
I want the ability to do that.
Women can do anything that men can do, just so you know. Feminism says so.
Feminism screwed it over when we couldn't pee out in public like you guys can. Anyway, all right. Erica wants to drink this green thing without realizing what it is, but later comes back. Yeah. But she's trying to break it open, explain to Robin that the human body can go days without food, but not water.
That's true.
And she would. It is true, and she would drink that rather than dying. And we find out later she would have died.
Yeah, go ahead, drink that.
Yeah. Go ahead. Very clever usage of that to stop the door, though. I'm surprised these two guys didn't smell pee.
Oh no, they did.
Well, no, one did. One did. The other,
did.
The problem is the other one's a smoker, so he can't smell shit.
Oh,
you guys are good. You guys are good. You're good.
Yeah, he's like.
Oh, right.
It is peace.
Peace.
I don't smell anything.
Yeah. As you do.
As one does.
Smell anything.
Crazy. I will say this is where Steve shines when he tries to figure out oh yeah, look, that's what that
Yeah.
thing did. So he used it to hold the door, which I'm surprised it held that long. Indiana
Yeah.
Jones style.
I was gonna say, how funny is they somehow managed to squeeze both an Indiana Jones and an Alien reference all in the same sequence right there.
Yeah, and then we had
That's-
Terminator earlier too, as well.
Mhm.
A lot of 80s references.
Not
But
to mention,
that's what.
we get one more at the there. We get one more at the end.
Which one do we get at the end?
Well, we get a little bit of the thing at the end as well.
Oh yeah. By the way, in all sci-fi literature and movies and stuff I've seen, and it's always like a portal to another world. It's always like a crack in a wall. Why does it always look like a how to say this without being crude? A female part that's just like shaped like a. Never mind.
An elbow?
Never mind. No.
Like an elbow?
Mhm.
Sure, like an elbow. Like an elbow. Okay, never mind. What's up? One G Knight. Alexia is-
Incognito.
Oh, is that what it is? Incognito?
Yeah.
What's up? Welcome. Thank you for the spoiler.
To be fair, Tooney did say that not only on my other show,
Yeah.
but on this one, he doesn't really care.
Yeah, I know. And he's probably still asleep right now. He probably missed his alarm again. Well, your rewatch. I know it's a joke, but thank you. You're welcome. Welcome here. I appreciate it, man.
Mr. Incognito, we had someone on the panel who has not. He's watching them episode by episode, and I hadn't seen the whole thing. So we were, but it's not a big deal. It's not that serious.
Yeah, he's not here tonight, so it's not. Yeah, and even then, he knows what he's getting into with territory. We say we don't like to drop spoilers, but then I rewatch some of our stuff, and we definitely drop spoilers.
It's impossible.
It's impossible because a lot of these story beats lead into the next season too, so it's very hard to. Yeah. Look at you, roast beef. The Wheeler house. So they're discussing the Mind Flayer and figuring out that the same time that Mrs. Driscoll was going haywire was the same time Will was feeling the Mind Flayer around, and it's just like they're starting to puzzle this all together, which is great. This is usually, it's not till episode 6 or 7 that we kind of get them starting to team up together. Because even with the next season, we don't get all of them together till the last episode 2 episodes, roughly around. So now they're starting to put it together earlier in this season. Maybe they learned from season 2, because with that one-off episode.
Mm-hmm. I can kind of keep pointing out that you see a lot of the same plot beats from season 2 show up in season 3, but but they're handled a lot more effectively this time around. So I definitely think that they learned a few things from season 2.
I agree. Almost like they knew what their mistakes were from season 2. They are fixing it here in season 3. I mean, season 3 is not without its own problems, but I think people give season 3 a worse rap than it is. I actually think season 2 is the weakest season out of all of them.
Thank you, Nadia.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Yeah.
In fact,
even with the
mission accomplished.
Yeah.
Mission
Yeah.
accomplished. I can hang up my season 3 propagandist hat. The work is done.
Nice. Well,
Ladies and
you
gentlemen, we
did.
got him.
You did what
You
you
know
were. You did what you were supposed to. As we are the premier podcast YouTube channel dealing with Stranger Things, I would say that we can make it definitively said that season 2 is worse than season 3. Season 3 gets a bad rap, and that's the final statement. And so it is now official.
Season 3 doesn't have a side episode with characters you're never going to see again.
Yeah.
I like Incognito
saying.
said season 1 and 2 are peak. Interesting.
Well,
I mean, everybody's got their. I will say,
Yeah.
season 1, you cannot capture the magic of season 1. Season 1 is actually pretty dark and scary. I mean, God forbid, people forget she blew brains out at the end of season 1. So,
Yeah.
and I think they actually tame it out a little bit. Season 2, it's just, I don't know. I just don't like.
my problem with season 2 is it started off so slow. Like it really
True.
took too long.
Yeah.
Well, my problem with it was mostly with the side episode they did instead of focusing on because I felt 11's reunion with her mother was not emotionally impactful because it was just one storyline amongst a ton that they were trying to fit in towards the end of the season. So I'm going to start a poll. Which season is the best? So there is a poll going on in the chat. That's that's my grief with season 2. It's just that they tried to fit too much into it so that moments like that, which should have been emotionally impactful, will season 4 will blow your mind. I love season 4. Season 4 is great.
Mm-hmm.
Season 4, I think season 4 is a combination of the trial and errors that they utilized throughout season 2 and 3 and realizing to slow down a little bit and let stories breathe out if they're trying to do multiple different character developments and storylines throughout. And that's why we get a season 5 split into 3 volumes, all being over an hour-long episodes.
Yeah.
It's crazy. All right, so we're back with Joyce and Hopper, which I think is the best scene of the episode is the 7-Eleven kind of convenience store when they take the car from Todd. Poor Todd. Poor Todd.
It's still funny, the whole trope of like, hey, everyone's all hot and they're thirsty. No one's grabbing bottles of water.
Yes, no, back then you just drank Coke. Back then it's just Coke and actual Coke.
I was gonna say, was this still the era of new Coke?
No, they had all the Cokes. They had all the Cokes then.
I mean, listen, I'm all for the healthy beef jerky sticks and stuff like that. That's great. And some of them try, but nothing beats a Slim Jim. Nothing beats a Slim Jim. I don't know. They just can't capture the same texture. They just can't that like bite into it. Yeah. Like, again, I'm all for the healthier ones, but nothing. And sometimes it's a good road trip snack. Slim Jims.
Just ask Macho Man.
Yeah.
I mean, a good pack of beef jerky, it won't go bad on you.
Look at the size of that Hopper's mouth.
Slim Jims, if you want to sponsor me, I'm totally for it. I'm with you with your red dye and all your artificial stuff. Let's do this. Slurpees, yeah. Oh,
this poor guy though. He still has some handcuffs. Like, dude, at this point, if he wanted to run, he would have ran.
More product placement, Blue. Hostess in the back. 7-Eleven.
Coke, yeah.
Slim Jim. Yeah. A 7-Eleven Slurpees. Peak in the summer.
I'm curious to see how Toxic would react to the sheriff, like the way he just like commandeers his vehicle. It's so funny, but then like over the top stupid.
It's he's really gone into Magnum PI mode at this point. I guess is what we should somebody's awake.
Yay! I could do one of those.
They said Magnum PI.
Do they have slushies in the United Kingdom, Toonie Boy?
I would assume so by now. At least.
Yeah.
Man, Toonie, you can jump in if you want to, or sticking around and chat. I know it's like 2 or 3 a.m. for you, man.
Yeah.
Poor guy. Some kind of really chill drink. Do you know what I mix Coke and cherry?
Cherry Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do cherry Coke slushy.
That was always that was the move for us too.
Mm-hmm. Now they're trying to do like sugar-free, healthy ones, and I'm like, get out of here!
Of course,
get out of here. Nobody wants this. Nobody's gonna want artificial sugar taste. We want the real stuff that gets you jacked up.
Love Americans. He's a psychopath.
I love this little bit that he does.
Oh, especially poor Todd here with the polo and the poor dude.
He's one of the most dangerous men in the world, chasing for 2 state lines. Todd. Deputy Byers. Oh yeah, he was doing some what was it? Counterfeiting. No, killing kids. But what?
Just slipping on his
The
Slurpee.
station, you know.
Todd, the Todd
Todd
father.
Todd father.
I love it. I love it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Call station one. Which station?
I want to know. This is definitely green screen behind them, right?
Probably.
I'd assume so.
Marcus Bees.
Yeah. Because I don't think they would have found a location like this. Because now that I look at it, I'm watching behind them, and it just goes forever. But it seems like on the top, it's rendered.
Yeah, it
By
could
the
be
top
like
of their
actual.
head, yeah.
Could be a location, but they just make it seem longer than what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Because they look in the back, it's like that's like 2 miles of just pure pipeline.
Yeah.
Get your steps in, though.
I was doing toxic. Said I one time I actually tried Coke, was a caffeine-free diet Coke, and at this point, just fucking drink water.
New Coke, Classic Coke, Cherry Coke, Diet Coke, or caffeine free
What kind of
Coke.
fiend
That's
makes
all the
that?
different Cokes that they had in 1985.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, where's Coke Zero?
Mm.
That's what they had available in
Got
1985.
this now.
I love a Diet
the
Coke.
big
Somebody
one, yeah.
said an ice cold Diet a refrigerated crisp Diet Coke is the equivalent of like a good cigarette. And I'm like, yeah, I can
would-
see that.
I've never smoked, so I couldn't say it for sure. But I'm a Coke Zero fan. I can't drink regular pop at all because it just tastes like pure sugar.
I'm not sure. Toxic. Do you remember when they went to the lime phase? They had like Pepsi, or no, sorry,
Yeah.
lemon. A Pepsi lemon. I was drinking that like an unhealthy. Something with
That's
that.
a Middle
le-
Eastern thing. We put
It's-
lemon in our Pepsi.
And they stopped making it, but like the lemon flavor was just, I was addicted. It was
I like putting lemon in. I don't like lemon flavor, but I do put lemons in. Like when I go to a restaurant, I get lemon in a water, lemon in my pop. Usually lemon in my tea. Obviously, if I am in a tea drinking phase or whatever, I'll do you one better. I remember in the early '90s when everything was clear. They made clear everything. They made clear soda. They made clear everything. They even made fun of it on SNL where they had like clear gravy, which they had the Zimas, which were clear alcohol, and they had all this like they're obsessed with clear in the early 90s.
Yeah, I never forget. Was a crystal clear Pepsi because I tried drinking it 4 different times. Every time I kept vomiting off it for some reason. Whatever they put in crystal clear Pepsi would make me puke. I just don't know what was in that shit, but like
Rachel likes it.
I mean, it tasted good going down. Didn't taste good coming back up.
Yeah.
We were never allowed Coke or Pep. Well, we had Pepsi at like parties, but for like the house, we were allowed Coke and Pepsi. We were allowed Sprite though, because for some reason, thought Sprite was like healthier than Coke or Pepsi.
That's what kills me. It's like I drink Sprite Zero and Sprite all the time, but or like was it 7-Up and now it's Sierra Mist. But for some reason, crystal clear Pepsi, what they put in that shit, just my body did not like it.
Ooh. I take a Coke Zero or Diet Coke, whichever I have on hand, and then I put some lime juice in it, and then I put a little bit of peach syrup in it. This is like a sugar-free one I have, and it's so good. So good. Or I make it dirty and add a little bit of coconut cream to it. So good.
So dirty.
So good. Yeah, that's how you make pop dirty. You add like cream to it.
Basically, you just get a cream soda at that point, like St. Louis style.
Well, the Mormons are very well known for their soda, like businesses up there, right? Because they can't have coffee, they can't have alcohol, but they can have soda. So they have little places that like will make different versions of like soda drinks with like different flavors into them. But one opened here in Vegas, so I frequent it quite often. Get like chunky peach preservatives in my Coke Zero with lime juice and a little bit of coconut. It's very good. It's very good. It's very good. Highly recommend. Okay, back to the show. The kids intercept the Russian code that we heard earlier about the Chinese. What is it, like Chinese garden or something? Basically, how they got to where they are, realizing that if they're hearing the signal here, they probably could get close enough that they can call for help, call from above on it. Which I thought was kind of weird that they all kind of like powwowed on the ground together about this. It's just me. Okay, that's fine. Let's move on.
Saying maybe if they didn't render this hallway to be so goddamn long, it would make more sense.
Yeah. Oh, and now, so after talking about Billy and the weirdness that they felt and doing the connection and such, they decide to go back over to, I think her name is it Karen or Heather?
It's
Whatever the
Heather.
girlfriend-
It's Heather's house.
Heather's house to find out what's going on, having 11 do a break-in for it.
Dun dun
This-
dun.
11 is
Yeah.
the telekinetic key to the city.
Right? Jeez.
It gets all creepy now because, like, oh yeah, so all this stuff would if anybody drank this shit would kill you like pretty fast. So what are they doing?
It's so I didn't realize until the rewatch that pretty much anybody who they change or connect with is they're gone, because now they're going to be eating chemicals and stuff. Like, nobody can survive. I mean, we see that later on. Nobody can really survive
Yeah.
being taken in a sense. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of bodies that are left in this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how much how you come down on this trope horror with Nadia, but I don't like the trope of like everybody's zombified or turned into a collective or something like that, and then they get snapped out of it by the master being killed or by some spell being cast or something like that. I want there to be consequences. So like when everybody's like, turned into something, I don't know, like they're gone. You know what I mean? Like I don't care for the whole, like the faculty comes to mind. It's like, oh, we killed the queen alien, so everybody's back to normal. I don't like that. It feels like a half measure.
So with the faculty, I can understand because it's almost treated like a parasite and the human body is still alive. So it's not like, oh, it's making the human eat chemicals or something that would kill them regardless. So I kind of give that, but I agree with you. I think there should be consequences. I think if by just allowing some kind of magical trope fix everything at the end it takes away from the impact of the story or even the impact of the threat of it. But I didn't realize until the rewatch how impactful the amount of bodies that are here for season 3. I bet somebody's done it, and I'm gonna look it up. How many deaths are there per season?
Oh, I can have that for you. I can have that for you when we're go to the trivia section if you'd like me to.
Hold on, I'm gonna ask Chat GPT right now.
Oh, okay. Well, then I will go fuck myself.
I'm pretty sure like even just like this season alone is probably like countless, just because like the number of like bodies required to build like that proxy body for the Mind Flayer does not equate to the number we've seen on the screen. Like you need a lot more than that. Even just the rats alone. Like there's no way you had enough rats to build something that big before you started moving on to humans.
So these are total estimates. So season 1 major on-screen deaths were 4 to 7. But total estimate were around 6 to 7 deaths with some minor characters included. Season 2, around 50 deaths. With the lab personnel, the security guard casualties of the demo dog. Season 3, and Bob. He's the notable death. Season 3, which I don't want to say who dies, because if Toonie's still across the season, the official count hits around 58 deaths.
Only 58?
Estimate. And then season 4 with the highest body count, 152.
Yikes.
Season 4 is the highest, huh?
Oh yeah.
I guess
it
in the way
sense.
that it ends.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I'm surprised season 3 is not higher.
No, it's like season 5. We kill an entire town's population.
So the main group figures out that they have to, in a sense, find out where the monster is, right? And their idea is visiting Mrs. Driscoll's house. They can, in a sense, go get Miss Driscoll and follow her back to see where she goes back to. Season 3 is definitely the best of all time. What's up, Dalen?
That's a hot take.
That's a bold one.
Sketches. Hey, Sketch, that's your dude, man. Season 3 propaganda.
Listen,
we got your propaganda.
Hey, I never said it was the best one. I just said it's unjustly hated.
I will say with 12 votes so far, season 4 is winning, which I'm not surprised. Season 3 is in second place with 17%, and season 1 is in third place with 8%. Nobody has voted so far for season 2.
No surprise there.
Dang.
Even incognito, where's your vote there, bud? I thought you swore up and
He said
with
one.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But season 3, I think, is the course correction from season 2. And then season 4 just goes off the bonkers.
Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Yeah. These kids, man. I can't wait to see what they look like for season 5.
Oh man.
I will say I wrote some themes down of this episode. So there's themes of like trust and teamwork, coming of age. But the one I wrote down because I was doing some research is the Cold War paranoia happening here with the Russian base and Alexei's revelation tap into the 1980s fear of the Soviet espionage and technology overreach. We used to be a peaceful country. How do you record? Well, on Netflix, I can't do that. Oh, I just share my screen. I'm just sharing my Netflix screen. That's all.
Dalen, you're not a Netflix representative or something, are you?
Yeah, you're not gonna like
snitches get snitches, Dalen.
Why do I hear Tatum's humming in the background? At my door. Who's that knocking at my door right now? Oh God.
Nadia's about to get swatted.
I know. Jesus.
The Netflix ninjas.
Dalen, if you have, I use StreamYard. There's an option to share screens in StreamYard, so I just share it on a different tab. If you're getting started as a content creator, feel free to reach out to me with any questions. I'm happy to help. I always love helping people. So the two of them take Alexia to Murray's place for translator, which is in Illinois. That's why they were heading to Illinois, his safe house, which Murray, I think, is one of the best characters as well. I actually really like Murray.
I do. I like Murray a lot. I didn't realize for a long time that I understood that he was from like reporting at the Chicago Sun. I didn't realize that meant that he was still based in Illinois when they brought him down in season 2.
Oh no, the CEO. Oh wait, that's me.
I will say I'm surprised that StreamYard doesn't trigger Netflix's like whatever they call it. It's like protection thing where like your screen.
Don't give them ideas. Sketch.
What are you doing?
Ideas.
We know it is Netflix sketches because different companies, like people said, Netflix is pretty lax. People can shit on them for being a company, but I've seen it myself. Warner Brothers, you show 1.6 seconds of Matrix, they fucking ban your channel, man. But Netflix, there's people on YouTube that show lots of footage, and they're pretty good about it. That's why, I mean, I'll support the company, man. You don't see Netflix copyright striking people's channels.
Yeah,
maybe as far as like as far as copyright strike goes, I mean it as far as like recording stuff. Or like if you're trying to pull a clip or something to use as a reference, like it'll just black itself out. I'm sorry, I'm surprised like that's not a situation here.
I will say, no. So Last of Us, I got hit. Most of if I'm playing Warner Brother trailers in my Horror Tuesday episode got hit. But I have never been hit by Stranger Things yet. Cross my fingers. And you see, I play clips right? But I also think they're a little bit more relaxed because they want people promoting this stuff too.
Well, yeah, that's what I've noticed too. I try to tell people that don't have YouTube. It's like they always say, "Oh, fuck YouTube, it's YouTube." It's not actually YouTube because right now Netflix owns Stranger Things. So YouTube's like, "Hey, listen, we're just hosting Nadia's channel, right? If Netflix wants to take your stuff down, Netflix owns this show. So never blame YouTube for they're just a hosting platform. It's why." WB, fuck WB. Or Paramount, for example, like or Universal.
WB is the worst.
Yeah,
they're literally the worst.
Is WB worse than Paramount?
I think so.
From what I've heard of people talk, they're just hardcore about. Like I said, you show even our friend Enzo, the fucking WB, they took down. He had Matrix stills, just stills. They fucking blocked his fucking video for showing stills. Like, holy Christ, guys!
Disney hit me 2 weeks ago for my Buffy stream, but I challenged it and then they let it go. So
Yeah, and I've heard most Disney's pretty good if you challenge it. They because at that point that's the bot. The bots are doing algorithm, and once they review it, they usually 9 times out of 10 let people slide.
Yeah, I normally can get my copyrights reversed, even with the WB. It just takes time, but then you lose the momentum of the video. But like even when we did the Stranger Things season 5 teaser trailer, I was surprised I didn't get hit there.
I was surprised too, to be honest.
That's a big one.
Fine. Completely fine. Believe me, I am just as surprised as all of you.
Because I've noticed,
it.
I don't know if you guys have noticed, but live streams tend to get hit harder and more often than if you pre-record and then push it through and then upload it.
That's a good point.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. I mean, just from my experience, maybe that's not everybody's experience, but I have noticed that Lance from Outcast Creative has run into problems. He mostly does lives. In fact, he may not do any pre-recorded stuff now that I'm thinking about it. I think he might always go live. I can tell you from my experience doing lives, my lives have been hit more than anything else.
Yeah.
The only time I've had lives hit is just when I talk about anything that has Warner Brothers or Paramount trailers on them. They are the worst. But normally out of 9 out of 10 times I just dispute it, and within 24 hours it's cleared up, because I'm like, and I usually go, fuckers, I'm just reacting to a trailer. Please. Like, it's just, I literally will go, motherfucker, I'm just reacting, and normally it'll clear up. So all right, so they're at Murray's place. I like this interaction between the two of them because I like Hopper and Murray. I think they balance each other very well, especially when we get into season 4.
Question: did we know up to this point that Murray knew Russian, or was this a reveal that we got here? I don't remember. Did we already know that?
We didn't know it, but I guess you could have kind of inferred, because in season 2 he's so hell-bent on proving like Russian like planned conspiracies around 11 at the time without knowing it. So I think they were trying to set up that this guy's like a Russian fanatic during like Cold War times, and like you probably know how to, because he's so like conspiracy brained, he would probably know that at this time.
Because at the time when I first watched this, I was trying to figure out, and even the rewatch I was like, how are they gonna overcome this? And I thought the reveal was going to be that he actually does speak English, and he was just kind of fucking with them.
I thought so too. They were going to go with that trope. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would do that trope.
Yeah.
Would you?
Yeah. You didn't ask me if I spoke English, so why not? I think that he just speaks Russian because he's our conspiracy theorist of the 80s.
Yeah, for his character makes sense. Consider how much he's in a deep fix, like the Alex Jones of his times.
He's the Alex. Oh, you said the magic word. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Hold on to your butts, folks.
It's basically an intergalactic invasion into this space through people. I'm telling you, it's what we're dealing with. I'll just say it, make fun of me all you want, but everyone already innately knows this. Darchan is a goddamn demon.
And thank you for Sketch for that clip.
You're welcome.
I'm always going to utilize it, even after we're done with Stranger Things.
Hell yeah.
He is our Alex Jones, because he says some crazy shit, but there's always like 1 to 2% truth in what he says. Murray's usually right.
It's like, it must be watered down.
I will say, surprise, no Billy in this episode whatsoever.
Yeah.
So they're over there trying to figure out what's going on with Alexei and what the Russians are doing. Yeah.
He's a careless as a child drag shit on his shoe. But you can't blame Murray. I mean, he's already wound up as it is. But yeah, this guy is a Russian scientist. I mean, I just gonna let him in.
This is where Steve kind of saves himself in this episode.
You mean redeems himself, or
redeems himself? Yeah, where he beats the crap out of an adult man.
Goddamn right.
Like a real American.
My God-given right is to punch a commie.
Yeah. I might be in a sailor suit that's based on an ice cream novelty, but it's a military uniform. You rusky son of a bitch.
Technically, it's based off Navy, right? Military uniform. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's why. That's one of the many reasons I did not join the Navy.
So
I
Dustin,
almost went to the Navy after high school. Almost.
It's hot. No, when a chick wears it, it's hot.
yeah.
It's cool when a chick wears it. You guys look good in it.
It was either Navy or Air Force because I was an ROTC. So these are. Oh, there's something up there, and
Dustin says right there, he's like, if I know Steve could knock down a Russian the entire time, I would have been the whole plan.
Like Robin looks
That's
cute
great.
in her outfit.
Yeah.
she looks more like her dad.
Yeah.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
I think you say that because she has her mom's haircut.
The eyes and the voice as well.
Eyes, I see Ethan more so.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That should be the next poll. Who does she look like more like?
All
Her
right.
mom or her dad?
Dear
So, 12 votes. Season 4 ends with being what's everybody's favorable season. Let's start this poll. Who does Robin? Wait, it's what's her name? Maya Hawk. Right? Yeah. Start poll. There we go. This must be crazy as a kid to stumble across something like this.
Yeah. Well, it's also terrifying because, like, well, from the American side, we didn't really see a machine like this big, at this level. This is so intense, like this, and plus they're all like, "Oh shit, they're doing the exact same thing we just spent the past 2 seasons, taking care of, and they're recreating it."
I'm just saying this looks. Never mind. I'm trying to be as PG friendly as possible, but I'm just like,
it looks.
gotta look.
It looks
An
like
eyeball. I get it. An eyeball.
An eyeball, yeah.
So
That's
it's,
what it looks like.
I was gonna say a taco.
Yeah, look, it's
That's what I was gonna say,
the
too.
eye, it's the eye of Sauron. Yeah.
There you go. Sure, yeah, definitely.
The Eye of Sauron. These two trying to make up in the elevator with the group of them too, as they're trying to get to Mrs. Driscoll, where the nurse was like only 2 people at a time. I thought they were gonna kick everybody out because she brought everybody with them. I will say this was pretty cool as a kid to have her powers to be able to just like shake up a what are they called, vending machines.
Yep.
And she did that for Mike to get more candy, and Lucas is like, that's your olive leaf, man. That's your way you're going to approach her. Olive branch.
Olive leaf, hey, it was the
Olive
80s.
branch, olive leaf, whatever.
mean,
you know what I
I like
mean.
how, I like how
Listen.
Nadia like shows her foreigner status every now and then. She like gets she says something, we all know what she's talking about, but she gets it just slightly wrong. You know what I mean?
Welcome to my
Listen,
husband's life 24/7, okay?
All I'm saying is leaves grow on branches. It's close enough.
Whatever, olive leaf, olive branch. You know what?
You guys
You know
are-
why?
Somehow
Because
you-
I spent the whole weekend with my family. That's why.
Mm,
In Chicago.
mm.
So far, you're winning on that one, Toxic. So far, out of 5 votes, Uma is winning. I think she looks more like Ethan, but that's
Mhm.
my pity on it. Girls are so fickle.
Yeah.
Blue, you have a son, right? You have a boy?
Yeah.
Do you have a daughter?
No, I've heard
Oh.
things. I mean, I've heard they always say like I know toxic and people who have daughters always say daughters are harder to raise than sons. And for everyone who's been ever a parent, it's told me.
I mean, I'm the oldest of 8. 7 girls down to my brother.
Jesus.
There's 30 years between my brother and I.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. Yeah. So my dad has a lot of girls. A lot of girls. This is Heather's father, who's also Nancy's boss. Why did my brain take like 2 seconds longer? Who we learned in the last episode was taken by Billy and Heather, possessed, coming looking for these kids because they're looking for Miss Driscoll. This is kind of the Mind Flayer's minions, I would say, right?
Yep.
Because they're possessed by the Mind Flayer.
They are the titular Flayed, as it were.
These two trying to make up. Young love. Aw, he's so sweet. So sweet. Girls are easy. I don't know why you boys think so.
Yeah.
You just got to be honest with us. You just have to be honest with us. That's it. You're just honest with this. You're fine. You're fine. And just do what we tell you.
Never listen to a fish tell you how to be a fisherman.
Oh, look at that. That's great. Bloody effects. That's good blood color, too.
Yeah, all kids are having fun, eating candy.
Well,
Happy.
Nancy and Jonathan are getting their asses handed to them. This dude is just creepy looking in everything he does.
Jake Busey, come on. It's his dad right there.
Yeah.
Also, Toxic knows he was great in The Frighteners.
Yeah.
I love Frighteners. I think it's an underrated movie. I think a lot of people have never seen it because of how underrated it is. It's Peter Jackson's, folks. It's a horror comedy. It has Michael J. Fox in it. It's great.
Yeah.
I've never seen this. Give me a minute.
It was supposed to be the third Tales from the Crypt episode.
Mm-hmm.
It has Jeffrey Combs in it too. Yeah, it's in my top 20 of all time. It's a great. It's an hour and a half. It's goofy. It's so much fun, but it's dark at the same time.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's a great introduction movie for maybe young adults into the horror genre too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. This is interesting. I'm queuing it up.
Now, the CGI of the ghosts don't hold up as well, but it's pretty good still.
Yeah, fair enough.
Then again, compared to some CGI the past 5 years.
That looks like Toxic after not having a good night's sleep.
Yikes.
There's your neuro PV photo, Toxic.
Right, what?
Your new avatar photo. There you go.
Okay, I'll get that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, there you go.
Dun, 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 dun.
I love when things start to turn into like mushy.
Give metal chair.
Mushy creatures at the end, and that's when you realize that's it. On the first watch through of this, I didn't realize that these people just don't come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
After
It's like
maybe a small. I realize it doesn't always answer everything, but okay. So at this point, it's well understood that they live in this supernatural town. Okay, so and Nancy knows what her strengths are. Why is she not carrying a gun 24/7?
True.
You got a point.
It's Indiana too. Yeah.
Is there not a scene? I don't know if it's in this season or next season where they go to her house and she has it's next season. So they go to her house and she's got 12 guns in her fucking dresser or some crazy shit, or she's supposed to anyway, but they're gone for some reason. Or I don't know. That's maybe too many plot points ahead of time, but I'm fairly certain I remember there being a thing about her having 12 guns in her house. Specifically, most of them in her own room. So I'm wondering, why is she not walking around at least with a pistol?
That's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah.
I have the same gripe. Toonie will tell you I have the same gripe about when we do Buffy about Sunnydale. Why are the people who are in the know not walking around with crosses, crossbows, stakes, or fucking holy water or something?
This is important here too, because we learn at this point if you hurt one of them, you hurt both of them. They're all connected in some way.
Mm-hmm.
Hive mind.
This just makes me wonder. This makes me wonder. So are all the other Flayed who are just floating, hiding out there, just among everyone else? Do they feel this as well, or is it just these two? The implications here. This whole ending just gives me so many questions about how this is going down. So like, is
That's
there
a
just
good
like
point.
some random? There's just some random poor like husband somewhere who got flayed and is now like pretending to be totally fine. Who's just like in the middle of like dinner just went, oh,
What if they're
just started
what if
like nose broke off.
what if he just sent these two out and the rest of them are still in their like hive area connected, so they're just getting hurt because these are the only two out right now.
You
From
could
the
probably,
royal
I guess
hive.
you could say maybe it's because they're not like activated, like as Will puts it.
Mhm.
It's just these two. I still just like to
Yikes.
imagine that all the hive mind just like collectively just felt that conk to head. Like somewhere there's a cutaway of Billy just like having his head just like go.
That was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
You think he maybe didn't expect to do that, or because he looks surprised? Jonathan looks surprised there. I mean,
I think
Yeah.
Jonathan's always been the pussy, so part of my
Jesus.
language. Well, I mean, even look at Will's exorcism. He's the one that's like, Nancy, hold me. Like, so maybe he's just surprised that he was able to follow through with this. I mean, no offense, Jonathan doesn't come across as someone who's good with like a weapon or would take
Nadia's
somebody's
gonna
life.
wind up at a Vegas Comic-Con, and they're gonna have a Stranger Things booth, and the only one that's gonna be there is the actor that plays Jonathan, and she's gonna be like, hard pass.
It's hard pass. Hard pass. I'm just saying, like, his character is very much a wimp in a sense. He even into season four. I mean, granted, I think he's a great older brother. I like his relationship with Will. I think he has some good aspects as a character, but for the most part, Nancy's the one always defending the two of them when the two of them are together.
He beat the
He
brakes
doesn't
off
speak-
Steve.
Yeah, but that's about it. I mean, his brother's being possessed and he's like, Mom, no, stop. I can't look. And he's like cowering into his girlfriend. So
You know what? I hope the scenario is even better. I hope it's a thing where you and your husband get separated at Comic-Con, and he knows you love Stranger Things, and he sees Jonathan actor there, and he's like, "Sir, could you take a picture with my wife? She does a whole YouTube stream on your."
do that.
And,
He would.
and he shows up, and you just look at him. He's like, "Honey, look who it is," and you're like, "I don't even know you."
It's like, my wife's your biggest fan.
I bet he would do like because I did one for him one year of cameos.
Mhm.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
Cameos is this website where you can pay people from like shows and actors like to send you videos. So I did one of James, is it Masters? I always mess up his last name.
Marsters?
Marsters. Yeah, but I did it because he reads Chris and my favorite book series, the Dresden Files. He's the one who Jim Butcher pictured as Dresden. The first couple of books are okay, but it's towards the end where he's like really getting into characters. So for his birthday one year, I paid for a cameo for him to wish Chris like a happy birthday, but like I said Dresden way, and he did it as Toot the Fairy. It's pretty cute. But yeah.
Hey, ladies, if you're listening or watching this right now, this is what being a unicorn is like. This is something a unicorn wife does for her husband. Finds his favorite thing that he likes and comes up with a way for him to meet his hero. That's what you do.
Here's the cameo for Stranger Things. Hey, look at Miss Wheeler.
Look who it
Pay
is.
$175 for her to send you a video. Oh, and Mr. Wheeler. He's 34.
Who the fuck is paying for Mr. Wheeler?
That's why he's 34. You've got Dustin's girlfriend here too as well.
Okay. Is that the Terminator down there at the bottom right, I think?
Yeah,
Over?
right here.
There's your Temu Terminator.
Yeah. We've got all these. Let's see who else. Yeah. There you go.
Robert
Pretty
England's
cool.
Robert England's 500. I mean, I can see Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
So,
Oh. But for $34, we can get Joe to send us a Stranger Things, Ted Wheeler on the hit show Stranger Things. So like, yeah, here's some of his videos you can watch and stuff. So yeah. Maybe I'll get one done for us for our finale show.
There we go.
It's
Added it to the intro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder who she's gonna try to get.
I
Oh,
try to
man.
get Mrs. Wheeler. Maybe we'll do like a super chat goal or something, and I'll get Mrs. Wheeler.
Can we get one
In
of
the
her
bathing
doing
suit.
Can we get one of her as Mrs. Wheeler saying hi to Toxic?
Oh,
There you go.
oh,
There you go.
Is it hot in here? All of a sudden, what's going on?
All right, so this dude is dead, and they like turn into like goop. Which is
Literally
weird.
melt. They melt from the
Yeah.
inside.
He did.
So
It's great effects.
Here's what I've always wondered about these things when they turn to goop, like the Flayed. Because their bodies at this point are already like completely melted from this chemical bomb that they've ingested, like Heaven's Gate style, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this whole time they're walking, this whole time that they're walking around, are they just like walking like water balloons of like meat, basically? And then as soon as like they like lose their usefulness, the Mind Flayer just snaps them, and they just melt like this. Or do they retain their personality in some, or are they just being like Thing style? What's going on here? How much this is actually like a person, or how much this is a Mind Flayer puppet, like meat puppet?
I think it's full meat puppet at the point when they're ingesting stuff, because I don't even think it's the only exception I would say is probably Billy, but I don't think the ones that are just meat puppets, I think as soon as they're possessed, they're gone. And I think the Mind Flayer just pretends to be them based off maybe memories he's seen or just interaction and such. So I don't think when they're like a human, when they're not tapped, I think it's still controlled by the Mind Flayer, in my opinion. But because I think by now, by the fact that they're ingesting chemicals, they're gone. So they're walking around as a big balloon sack of chemicals.
I guess, the first time I watched this, I thought everyone was kind of like following like Will and Billy, where they were just being possessed. But then here it was like until now that the Mind Flayer like forcibly made them just combust, and it was fun like rewatching. I was like, oh no, they've just been gone for good since the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Where I think Billy and Will are the exception. I think they're possessed in a way differently, maybe. Most so because maybe they have to be utilized more. Like Billy has to be utilized in a sense to lead the army. Will as well has a connection to the Upside Down, thus is easier to possess by the Mind Flayer or in some way. Where I think these guys are just like disposable, so they're just chemical meat sacks. What's up, Joseph? Welcome. So that's my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, completely wrong on this, but that's how I look at it. I think, yeah.
See, I thought like with Will, it was that was the Mind Flayer attempting to be sneaky about it, and like maybe if the Mind Flayer had been able to like control Will long enough, this is what he would have turned into, or it would have been like Billy. This is season 3. It's more like it's kind of like the Mind Flayer taking the gloves off, just going straight to the end. No messing around.
Yeah.
Welcome, Joseph. I'm happy to have you here. Thank you for stopping on in. Make sure you hit that like button, and if you are so kind to subscribe, as I am trying to get to 1K votes. But thank you. And I see that you are the horror guy. What kind of horror do you like? I'm curious. Oh, thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Gonna get that 1K. I can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then it feels, I don't know. It feels like 1K takes forever. Everybody tells me like the first 1K is the grind, and then afterwards it takes it'll be easier, but then you get to 5K and stuff. And Joseph, I just subscribed to you as well, sir. So thank you.
Natty, you got to get yourself on Open Bar. Next time they talk about some horror shit, get on Open Bar. That's the big one that jumps them ratings up. Blue collar.
Yeah.
No.
Because Will is really good about helping out smaller YouTubers, smaller stream YouTubers. Yeah,
it's true.
He's great at it. I appreciate him seeing it, but I think there are, I don't want to say better, but I think there are people. There's quite a few people I would put in line first before I don't know if I would go on even if I was invited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, have fun with it. Just make it casual.
I just don't know if my personality would do well because my sense of humor doesn't even do well here on my own channel.
Well,
So-
you got a point. You got a point there. Their style of doing things is.
They're a little bit more.
I don't.
strict
It's
and
not.
serious.
It's not always. A lot of times, especially on that format, they do a lot of, kind of the hating on shit type stuff, which you don't really do. So you're more.
I mean,
of
I can hate on some stuff. I mean, I hated
know.
on the Wolf Man, but I just
facts. But I mean, that's more like that gets the clicks and the views. Whereas you might, you should accept Lance's offer and jump on one of his streams. He does every Tuesday the Nielsen ratings or something if you can. I don't know if your schedule probably doesn't.
Problem is I work my day job while he's streaming, so it's very rare that I can get away from stuff like that. Well, welcome, sir. You are in good place. We are covering Stranger Things weekly every Friday. We're talking about episode 5 of season 3. We're gonna be on episode 6 next week. So welcome. Yeah, I don't know if I would ever. First of all, it's a long shot. I don't even think he knows who I am. I don't know if I would accept it because I'm nervous about stuff like that. But who knows? I'll cross that bridge when I get there. I'll cry to Blue. I'll be like, Blue, what should I do?
Honestly, I mean, what I've seen from everybody, just be yourself, and that's like almost like what Toxic was saying. A lot of times, people, I notice they will often change their opinions based on they're trying to impress people, and that's it. Leon, we bust his balls, but Leon is true to himself. I mean, you may not agree with his opinions, but he doesn't just say it just to get clicks. Like, he will be the one asshole on the panel saying, "Guys, Rebel Moon is awesome," even though it's terrible. But hey, he really believes it, and don't get bullied into like changing your opinions based on other people's how they feel.
You know me. I wouldn't do that. First of all, Leon and I are the bad take twins, and we wear that with pride. Okay. I remember I just go back and watch the stream of Alien Romulus on Niet's stream, and everybody's just tearing this movie down, and it goes quiet, and I go, well, I really like the movie.
I liked Alien Romulus. The problems that it has are valid, certainly. That I'm not gonna say that they're not, but I liked it.
Yeah, I recently heard talk about on Lance's channel that Ballerina. Some people are shitting on it. I'm with Nick.
Yeah.
And, Nick did a video on it, and same thing. I'm like, guys, did you watch this film? There's no girl boss. Did you check it out? It's not woke. It's not.
Yeah, but you know what? I like that everybody has different opinions of it, because art is subjective. If we all had the same opinion, things would be boring.
That is so boring. I hate echo chambers. I like somebody. I mean, I don't need to see an out and out brawl or whatever, but I want someone to be like, call somebody else on their shit and be like, dude, you're being too harsh, or the other person going, dude, you're being too soft. I mean, when me and Blue used to do
Blue.
No, he's shitted on me.
No. Blue sent me in one of the chats was like, Nadia, bite me, all right? I don't like everything, okay?
Yeah, like
he doesn't. He's actually disliked stuff that I've liked. We've done we did I think we did Anyone But You, and I think I really liked it, and he was like, this is kind of gay, bro. Yeah. And I'm like, no.
I went Blue on it. It's kind of gay.
Stop it.
No, my thing was I said Blue always finds something positive, even if a movie's shit about it, just to be nice sometimes.
I think that's a good quality.
Nadia, wouldn't it just be boring if Zax didn't say that I have a habit of just saying I love everything? Wouldn't it be less fun?
Well, I'm sure you can always agree, because I've heard Toxic say this on multiple streams, that still we're old enough where it's like, even if it's going to be a bad film, going to the theater for me is still an experience, and I don't want to go to a theater because, like I said, even with my Regal app, I'm not paying for it, but time for all four of us and anybody watching is precious. I mean, my son has turned 18. Like, time we're all getting older, not younger. It's how it goes. So even if a movie is not the best movie, I want to enjoy the 2 or 2.5 hours watching the film. So. Yes. Going into a movie expecting to fucking hate it. If I'm expecting to hate it, I'm honestly not going to waste my time watching it. Why?
I agree. I bought my Megan 2.0 tickets. I have my 28 years later tickets. I have Superman tickets. I bought those. I bought Jurassic World Rebirth tickets. Like, I'm ready. I just want. I love. it's from my parents. I love going to the movie theaters. I love getting my little popcorn, my little pops, sit down and enjoy a movie for 2 hours. And you know what? Some movies I go in, are they going to be masterpiece? No. Am I going to have fun? Yeah. Like or whatever, the last Mission Impossible that's out in theaters. I actually had a good time. Is there a lot of plot hole issues?
Same.
Absolutely.
I think many people. I had a good time. I had a good time watching that film. It wasn't the best film, but I had a good time going to theater and watching it.
Toxic, another Kinghead.
Oh,
Joseph
wow.
said his favorite movie is Stephen King It movie. Well, Joseph, starting
the 2017 or the 1990.
I mean, both of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
Starting the July 17th, Joseph, on this channel at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're going to be covering The Institute, which is the new Stephen King show that's coming out on MGM. So make sure you tune into that or read the book before we start.
Or
the book is really good.
No, yeah. Well, on the Stephen King subject, also, I'll just throw this one out there too. Do you have plans to cover? Was it The Long Walk when that comes out?
Yep.
There you go.
So I wanted to also cover Alien Earth. I don't think I'm going to be able to. I think Alien Earth might be something down the line where we just do like a rewatch, because between The Institute and The Long Walk, and then we've got Welcome to Derry, there's a weird gap in between that doesn't line up. So I would rather cover things a little bit more to this show than this channel versus like Alien Earth. I could cover at any point this year because it's one season and we're probably not going to get a season 2 for a while. So there's a lot of theories. But I originally wanted to do Archive 81 and it's still in the back of my mind to do so. And I do want to go revisit Channel Zero's seasons. Those are really cool. They're like 6 to 8 episodes a season, but it's a different story each season. So it's an anthology. So on chapter 10, awesome. Yeah, I'm re-listening to The Institute on audiobooks. Okay, let's finish this up, this episode. So these two turn into like ooze, which I like the combination of practical effects and special effects in this. Look at that.
Definitely.
Looks like
I
a
hate
bad
it
period.
so much.
Girls know what I'm talking about. That looks like a bad period.
My hatred of it just went up tenfold. Before I was just like, that just looked nasty. I was like, yep.
It's funny, even the caption says squelching sounds, like the noises.
It's so good. I love it. And it's creepy. It's a creep factor. And you're right, Sketch. It's The Thing. Homage to The Thing. Look at this thing rolling down. And you're right. After that, she wouldn't carry a gun. And I think
I would be fucking sleeping with a flamethrower next to my bed.
I was about to say, get the flamer, the heavy flamer.
Butcher's Block is my favorite. Yeah, I love all of them. So Channel Zero is stories based off creepypasta that they had turned, very popular creepypastas that they turned into a series. It's really good. It's very good. That being said, final thoughts on the episode. Blue, I'll start with you.
As I said before, Toxic and Sketch Guy here. Good episode. I think we're finally starting to see some progression. I mean, obviously we're fighting zombie creatures now. We have these big CGI goos. The opening 10 minutes is an action sequence, so definitely a slower season, but it's picking up now. Episode 5, and we have to, because 8 episodes? So there's only three more to go.
Yeah.
But I did like it. It's a small inconsistencies, like we talked about, like seeing the Toxic, where a guy unloads 200 rounds to a truck and nothing happens. But it's cool seeing Murray. We get a new character. I forget the guy's name, Alexei, the Russian dude, and also for the kids seeing like the Russians using their portal to the upside down, this big massive machine, and how terrifying this is. And the ending sequence shows, like the whole third act there, that this still is a horror show, and already. The show's got some fluff, but I would say the season it's definitely in some ways better than season 2. And I think people, as you said, Nadia, we're definitely being too harsh on this season. It's slower, but there's still good elements to it.
Yeah. I forgot about the trivia. So let's do the trivia and then Toxic, give final thoughts. What do you got for trivia? What do you
All right. Here is the,
you have
you have to pull it up. I can't do anything. There you go. When Grigori and I'm not going to even try to pronounce that shit, storms the farmhouse's mechanical gait, clenched jaw, spiky haircut, emotionless European accented voice, and overall robotic motions, like when hip firing his AK-47 at a fleeing vehicle, are all highly suggestive of the menacing cyborg mannerisms of Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Terminator. Even the clanky synth music that swells at the end of this scene is similar. So there you go, Nadia. You are justified.
Wow.
The fight between Steve and the Russian soldier Joe Keery, who plays Steve, did his own fighting stunts. Good for you.
Hey.
The logo for Hawkins Memorial Hospital is exactly the same as the one for Haddonfield Memorial Hospital in Halloween 2, released in 1981.
That's dope.
That is pretty dope. This is the first time this season that Nancy and Jonathan share scenes with the rest of the kids.
Oh, sure.
I didn't know that. When Joyce, Alexi, and Hopper enter the 7-Eleven, they immediately head for the drinks cooler. Joyce drinks a Tab Diet Cola, Alexi the New Coke. Hopper guzzles a Jolt Cola, first marketed in 1985 with the slogan, all the sugar and twice the caffeine.
By the way, we have 2 cases of Jolt Cola on its way to this
Oh,
house.
shit.
And because Vitamin
Oh,
Shop brought them
no.
back.
I know
You
they
can
still
get them from the Vitamin Shop.
really. Wow. Yeah.
That's the
Hmm.
only place you can get them, by the way. You
I
can't get
didn't
them
know
on
they still
Amazon.
had
That's
Jolt.
Yeah.
I've
Oh,
never
gosh.
heard of this brand before. What on earth?
Yeah.
Really?
And it's
Jolt
the
was
same
like
thing.
yeah, Jolt was like Monster in the 80s. So it's just like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was created in 1985.
Yeah. So you can order Jolt Cola right now from the Vitamin Shop.
That's fascinating.
And your local might have it, but every time we go into it, they sell out. So
Oh,
we
it
ordered
did-
2 cases.
It did come back in 2017.
Yeah.
Briefly, but
The only place you can get it is the Vitamin Shop.
yeah, wow.
when
That's
Hopper
a
is
Vitamin
taking
Shop.
Todd's car outside the gas station, the music playing is the theme music from Midnight Run. Great movie, Midnight Run. When Joyce and Hopper are driving to Hess Farm, a Lynx, Lynx, transporter can be seen. This is due to the link to the Russian smugglers. Fascinating. And everything else was pretty lame, so I didn't add it.
Okay. Final thoughts on the episode, Toxic?
I like it. I think it's good. It's good world building. I think it's what number are we? We're on episode 5, and
5.
there's 9 episodes,
8.
8 episodes, 8.
Yeah.
So this is where, and I've mentioned this in almost every stream that has a TV show. When you get to the, you have the penultimate episode, which is the episode before the season finale, and then you have the season finale. So a couple episodes before do a lot of setting into motion, putting the characters in place to do that down home run towards the slippery slope that is your season finale. So this is one of those episodes, and I think it does an admirable job at what it's supposed to do.
Very cool. Sketch?
Uh-oh.
Are you...
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, keep back, buddy.
He's frozen.
Are you back?
So, I don't know what's going on with this internet. So I'm gonna try to keep this short before it does it again. I got very little to add to what's already been said. Basically, it's just like what came beforehand. Like, this is the kind of episode that would probably be, if this was another season, would have been like the second or third to last episode. It's nice that this is like a middle act 2 episode instead, and I do like that a lot of the parties are compressed a little bit more. I like that Nancy and Jonathan with the kids a lot faster.
I agree.
Yes, because sometimes, me and Tox knows too, if you turn your camera off, sometimes you do save data like this. That does sometimes help out.
Yeah, I've been noticing. We're just going to be Alexi from further.
What's up, Craig? Good to see you, friend. What's going on?
Yeah.
So for myself, I pretty much agree with all of you, especially with Sketch. I like the fact that we are picking up on the pace halfway through the season rather than waiting to the last 2 or 3 episodes. I do like that this season has 8 episodes and it seems to be paced very well. I do like the kind of bringing it back to horror a little bit. So more so than some of the other seasons. So, and I obviously with where it goes, I do like the relationship between Hopper and Alexi through this season too, how it grows too. And I do like Alexi. Alexi's one of my favorite side characters they've ever added to the season. So thank you, Sketch, for showing me his face again. That being said, Blue, what do you got going on next?
Tomorrow I have to finish my stupid, because we all finished Last of Us. I got to finish it because like I pre-recorded it, but of course taking time out because I guess there's no rush because the guy Reaper, I know he put out like a video yesterday, and it's been like 3 weeks since the show ended, and it's just you guys know it. Time is always against us, so I'm backed up.
You should take something for that. May I
Mhm.
recommend prune juice?
Lots of
Sketch,
prune juice.
what do you got going on next?
Okay, I mean, I've been away for a bit of a week, so I've had to kind of back up and start over again. But still working, outlining on a pilot, working on my Stranger Things redesign, and then I recently, just today, watched a show on Netflix called The Eternaut. I think that's how you pronounce it. Comes out of
Yeah.
Argentina,
Hmm.
and I'm still letting it digest, but I'm debating whether or not if I want to like put out like a written review for it at some point and maybe start trying to do things that way. That would definitely be the first one I consider now that I'm like trying to figure out what I think of it.
My one of my friends, Sin's Corner on YouTube, she really liked it. She recommended it last month on my Final Girls season, so episode.
I
thing.
was
So, yeah.
I was quite happy with it starting out. It's kind of like near like it's only 6 episodes, so it's kind of around like 4 to 5 that it starts to lose me. I feel a little bit. Well, if I do decide to do a written review, I'll probably like bring that up a little more in detail there.
It reminds me a little bit if you're having that issue with Three Body Problem, had the same issue, but
I thoroughly did not like Three Body Problem, but this one I did like. This one I liked a lot more. Like I actually like the main cast in this one.
Yeah, Three Body Problem kept me and Zach's hooked in because of how ridiculous it was. So I will be tuning in for season 2 because I know it's just going to be way worse. Toxic, what do you got going on next?
Despite being very, very busy with my business, 2 cases and my regular security job and having a very busy weekend this weekend, I still managed to crank out a review of Ballerina earlier this week with Northern English Bastard. I came out on liking it. He did not like it. You can find that on my channel. I did a extra Buffy the Vampire Slayer episode with Toonie, among other people, earlier this week. I think midweek, because we're trying to get ahead of the get all of the seasons of Buffy and Angel done before the new show comes out. So we blast another episode. There will be another episode as our usual time on Sunday. I did a review of all of the Friday. I rated all of the Friday 13th movies, playing all of their trailers in the succession in which I rate them. So you can check that out on my channel if you want to see classic Friday 13th movie trailers and see where I rate them. Believe it or not, there is only 12 Friday 13th movies, not 13. So I thought that was interesting because I would have sworn there was 13, but I must have miscounted somewhere with that. So that is out right now. And like I said, yeah, that's all I got really going on. Sunday, I'll be back. We're no longer doing those live because like I mentioned earlier in your stream, have been getting hit up with live stuff. I may wind up, since I'm bored tonight, I got to do a overnight at my job. I'm probably going to do my top 10 favorite Friday 13th moments that live rent free in my head. I was a huge Jason fan when I was a kid. That was my game. That was my swag back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So I'll probably do top 10 favorite clips from the various franchise and put that out later on tonight.
Very cool. You know, Universal today announced that Jason Friday the 13th is going to be a house at Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Interesting.
Yeah. Oh, Joseph beat me to it. Yep. As for this channel, as for me, guys, I made a calendar. So if you haven't caught this past Tuesday, I did a Vincent Price stream with a great panel. We rated a couple of Vincent Price's movies, not all of his movies, but pretty much their top ones. The next one coming up is going to be like millennial horror movies that millennials grew up on. So that should be fun. That's next month. Next week, I've got Horror Tuesday on the 17th. We've got the members only chat stream on the 18th. We've got Chills and Thrills on Thursday. This might move in time because I'm seeing 28 Days Later or Megan on that day. I forget which one. And then we're back with Stranger Things episode 6 of season 3 on the 20th. Final Girls, my monthly show where I have a bunch of female horror content creators come on, talk about stuff that they recommend for the month, what they don't recommend, what they're looking forward to. That is going to be on the 24th. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then the members watch party, which will be Jaws, which will be on the 28th, since it's, I think, the 50th year, I believe, of the celebration of the movie. As for guest spots, the only last guest spots is this coming Tuesday after Horror Tuesday. We're going to raid right into Sun and Shadowcast because I will be on their show to talk about Jason X. I was there last Tuesday to talk about Freddy versus Jason. It was a lot of fun. So a lot of cool things coming down the pipeline. Thank you to my panel. You guys are always, as always, fantastic. Thank you to the chat, the newcomers too, as well. I appreciate every single one of you. And until next time, y'all know what to do. Stay spooky. Bye.